All right, kids, it is time for another edition of Coffee with Hawk. I am in trial. Donald Trump is on trial again in New York. Today is Wednesday, January 17th. Yesterday, the 16th, was our first day of trial in the case that I'm doing. And it was Donald Trump's first day of trial in the second E. Jean Carroll defamation case. About a year ago, there was a trial, the first trial in that case. He was found liable for defamation and sexual assault against E. Jean Carroll and was ordered to pay her $5 million. That case has been appealed. In order to appeal that case, Donald Trump had to post a bond of $5 million. So if he loses that appeal, that money goes to E. Jean Carroll immediately. So today we've got a slew of stories about E. Jean Carroll in that trial, starting with the fact that the day before this trial was supposed to start, Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, and two other attorneys who worked with Joe Tacopina quit. They quit the case. They left. And a former Trump attorney, Tim Parlatore, was on Ari Melber yesterday and said that Tacopina was in over his head. Nobody likes him. He was a guy who hadn't tried a case in a decade, and he screwed up the first E. Jean Carroll case that resulted in a $5 million verdict against his client because he barely cross-examined E. Jean Carroll, the main witness in the case. He didn't call another witness that he prepped. And he hadn't tried a case in about a decade, and he came into this one cold, and he just did a crappy job, and so he just said, screw it, I quit. So there's that. Trump has told the judge in this case that he wants to testify. There's so many things wrong with that. And the judge warned him about that. Trump has already been found liable for defamation and sexual assault. This same judge later adjudicated as a matter of facts on the law, inconsistent with New York state law, the behavior, the actions that Donald Trump was found liable for as far as the sexual assault is consistent with rape under the New York penal codes. And so, but Donald Trump has said, I want to testify. But because he's already been found liable, this trial is only about damages. As is the New York civil trial that's going on that we expect a judgment from Judge Enger on any day now, where Letitia James has asked for $370 million. He's already been found liable in that case as well, and that trial was just about damages. This current E. Jean Carroll trial is only about damages, and I think she's asking for $10 million this time. I kind of expect the jury to award her more than $10 million because of things like this. Donald Trump smears E. Jean Carroll on social media while sitting in the courtroom with E. Jean Carroll. This is what having no client control looks like. So yesterday, the first day of trial, Donald Trump posted something like 22 posts to Truth Social, further defaming and harassing E. Jean Carroll while he sat in the courtroom with E. Jean Carroll because he's getting sued by E. Jean Carroll for doing the things that he did in the courtroom yesterday while he sat in the courtroom with E. Jean Carroll. So, yeah. Make him stop. Jury has been told that Trump defamed E. Jean Carroll with 22 Truth Social posts just today. That was said in court yesterday by Sean Crowley, an attorney for E. Jean Carroll, who urged the jury to fine Donald Trump enough money so that he would never defame her client again. He was president. He used the world's biggest microphone against Miss Carroll. He told lies, da-da-da-da. And then he went on to say, as he sits in this courtroom, you saw him while he was sitting there, he posted more defamatory statements, more lies about Miss Carroll in this case. By our last count, it's 22 posts just today. While he's sitting in the courtroom. E. Jean Carroll's lawyer also tells the jury that each of these attacks by Trump results in a flood of threats to his client, E. Jean Carroll. I mean, yes, Sean Crowley, he told the jury this again during opening statement. Every time Trump goes after her, she gets flooded with threats of physical violence, sexual violence, and death threats. And he urged the jury to keep that in mind when they're deciding how much money Trump should pay E. Jean Carroll. Trump's theatrics are already adding zeros to E. Jean Carroll payout, according to an expert. Okay, hang on. MSNBC, Katie Fang. Okay, I love Katie Fang. She has her own show on MSNBC Saturday or Sunday morning, maybe both, I'm not sure. She was a trial attorney for 25 years. And so I love that they have her covering this trial because she knows what she's talking about from experience. She's been a trial attorney. She had a ringside seat Tuesday in the New York City court where both the former president and E. Jean Carroll, the woman Trump was found liable for raping and defaming, appeared in the same room for the first time in years. There's no leeway from this judge for theatrics or drama by Trump. The judge is named Lewis Kaplan, and he told Trump that there are no do-overs allowed in this trial, meaning he can't get up and deny that he sexually assaulted her or deny that he defamed her because those issues have already been decided against him by the jury in the trial a year ago. Again, this is only about damages, and he just keeps doing the shit that I've been saying. He's posting about her while he's sitting in the courtroom. He's basically talking to members of the jury. You know, he's talking to his attorneys loud enough that the members of the jury can hear what he's saying to them, to his attorneys. And he's saying shit like E. Jean Carroll is crazy. She doesn't have any memory. She lost her memory. Da-da-da-da. She's a bonkers lunatic. He's just saying all kinds of shitty things about her. So he's defaming her to the jury as well. The jury who's going to decide how much money he has to pay to E. Jean Carroll. This judge is not going to put up with those theatrics, and his offensive conduct has been covered widespread by the media, which means a very high probability that prospective jurors have also heard and seen his repeated defamation of E. Jean Carroll, and that he continues to do it in the courtroom while she is sitting in the courtroom with him is just adding zeros to the amount of money that this jury is going to award to her. Agitated Trump is twisting and turning in seat as potential jurors are questioned. So this happened during voir dire, jury selection. The attorneys for both sides were questioning potential jurors, and Trump has been twisting and turning in his seat at the defense table as prospective jurors answer questions about their political affiliations, voting habits, campaign donations, and any experience with sexual assault, and whether they ever watched The Apprentice or read E. Jean Carroll's advice column in Elle magazine. 3 prospective jurors said they had donated to Trump's campaign. 11 said they had donated either to Obama, Clinton, or Biden campaigns. At least 10 watched The Apprentice on NBC. Why did people ever watch that show? I've seen clips of it, and it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And he was shitting his pants the entire time. The producers of the show have talked about that openly. He shit his pants the entire time the show... Okay, whatever. Have a seat. Judge shuts down Trump advisor Boris Epstein as he tries to speak during the trial. I guess he's a... Oh, God. Is he part of the team who's... Boris Epstein. Apologies for mispronouncing that. His last name is spelled Epstein. Boris Epstein is like the main liaison between Donald Trump and the large number of attorneys representing him in all of these cases. If they want to talk to Trump, they got to go through Boris Epstein and Michael Cohen, former Trump lawyer. Freudian slip there, huh? Has previously said on MSNBC that Boris Epstein is a moron. So we have that. Trump is grumpy about his nosebleed seat in defamation courtroom. This one, I don't know what it's about because he should. Okay. So instead of having counsel tables side by side in this courtroom, they're set up like a row. And Trump is seated 2 tables behind where E. Jean Carroll is sitting. And he's having a sad about that because, you know, he views having to sit behind her, given that he's a former president of the United States, as a sign of disrespect. That one I already covered. Alina Haba. I guess she's lead counsel on this. Wow. So Alina Haba, in filing an incredibly bogus lawsuit against Hillary Clinton and a bunch of other people, I think it was in Florida, which resulted... Hang on. Hang on, I'm having some difficulties here. Okay. Okay, whatever. We'll just leave that in. So Alina Haba is the lead attorney in this case after getting Trump sanctioned $1 million for attorney's fees in that Florida case. And she's about to get him a $370 million judgment against him in that civil case in New York. So she's lead counsel in a case where another plaintiff is seeking an additional $10+ million from Donald Trump. I'm sure that she will do an absolutely fine job. Oh, wait, nope, I'm wrong. She got yelled at by the judge on day one before the jury had even been selected. And oh boy, she yelled at the judge yelled at her. This was about continuing the trial so that Trump could go to the funeral for Melania's mother. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Judge Kaplan is taking exactly zero shit from Trump and his lawyers in the Carroll case, wrote MSNBC analyst Norm Eisen. Okay. Trump attended the E. Jean Carroll case trial so that he could harass the real victim and harass her in person. That's the only reason he's there. He wants to yell at the judge, which he did. He snapped and yelled at the judge and said, "That's a nasty man. That's a nasty man." He said that to the judge in open court. He called the judge a nasty, nasty, nasty man. And he's sitting in the same room with E. Jean Carroll, although he's sitting 2 rows behind her, which is making him very upset and cranky. And he just showed up there just so he could try to harass and intimidate her. I think because he knows he's going to lose. He knows he's going to lose. He's already been found liable. He's already been hit with $5 million before. A couple weeks ago, he went on a posting spree on Truth Social and posted 40 defamatory, inflammatory, however you want to describe them, posts about E. Jean Carroll in one day. And while he was sitting with her inside the courtroom yesterday, he posted 22 more posts about her on Truth Social. So I don't even know how to describe this Gomer, man. I mean, he's just unteachable. He's just unteachable, but he just wants to sit in the courtroom so that he can harass and intimidate her. So there you go. By the time closing arguments had come to a conclusion, several courtroom observers and legal experts had determined that the jury already dislikes Trump's lawyer, Alina Haba, intensely. See, now that's a problem, okay? Because you want, as a trial attorney, you want the jury to like you. Yes, you do not want them to hate you. There we go. That is correct, because that ain't no good. That ain't no good. When the jury hates a client's trial attorney, what do you think they're going to think of that attorney's client? especially when that client is Donald Trump and is doing the kind of shit in the courtroom that Donald Trump is doing. And it's only the second day. It's only the second day. So this trial is going to go quick. It won't go more than 5 or 6 days. And then this jury is going to deliberate, and they're not going to deliberate for very long. They're going to award her at least another $10 million, if not more, based on the behavior that Donald Trump has done just in the last 2 days. So that wraps up day 2 of the E. Jean Carroll versus Donald Trump second trial for defamation damages. And, I'm still in trial, so I'll be on here as much as I can. I appreciate everybody who's following my podcast page. Be sure to check out my YouTube page. There's a link in my TikTok bio. I don't know if we have a link for that on this page or not. And you can see other podcast episodes up there. It is 10 minutes after 6, Wednesday, January 17th. I've got about 6 hours worth of work to do tonight to get ready for tomorrow's trial session. I hope everybody has an absolutely amazing evening. I will check back in when I can. Please be safe and don't get arrested. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.